Alright guys, and welcome to GKTCC's fixture against St George's University today. This was the final group game of the United Hospitals Cup, having already played RUMS, who you saw 2 videos ago, BARTS and Imperial, where we'd also recorded really impressive victories, bowling Imperial out for 35 and chasing it, and then scoring 280 against BARTS and bowling them out for 100. So with 3 wins out of 3 in the United Hospitals Cup, we'd secured our place in the final, and therefore this game was kind of a friendly of sorts, knowing that even if we lost, there wouldn't be too many ramifications. It gave us an opportunity to try a couple of the younger boys out, giving Murid an opportunity to play his first UH game, and also Ayush Gopal, who made his debut for the first 11. Shamal out today. I can't remember if he was injured or unavailable, but it gave us a chance to give the new ball to Hamza, which would be really important towards the end of the season when he took the new ball a bit more frequently, to partner Zain at the other end on the back of a hat-trick against Imperial University. So St George's University, based in Tooting, they're probably the side that we get on best with across the circuit. They're absolutely great boys, so even though it was a competitive fixture, it was always going to be a good laugh full of smiles. And Zaino taking the first wicket there, really impressive OBW, bowling with his big in swing and taking a breakthrough early on after a pretty good start from the George's openers. Zaino didn't have quite the radar that he did against Imperial, so was leaking a few runs. But Hamza at the other end was hitting really good areas and took the edge of Omkar, and what a catch from Aman behind the stumps. An absolute stunning grab, one-handed. He's sure watched that about 1,000 times, but it was an absolutely stunning grab from Aman to dismiss the really threatening Omkar, who's played for Surrey previously in Jamie Smith's age group, and therefore was a massive wicket early doors to dismiss him and get into the George's middle order. So in terms of how the season was going for us at this point, we played a couple of LUSL games, which is the London University Sports League, you saw against KCL, and we'd also played a couple of others which we'd all been victorious in. We played 2 Bucks games, one against Royal Holloway and one against BARTS, which we'd also won, putting us top of the league in our Bucks competition. Just left to play UEL and Kent, and then as I mentioned earlier, we were through to the UH final in the UH Hospitals Cup. Anshon here, first change. This was to be Ansh's probably best day to date in a GKTCC shirt, bowling his fat in-swingers learnt from Zain at the other end, and he took the 3rd wicket with a big in-swinger, taking the top of the off pole, and it was a really good start after a really good partnership actually from the George's numbers 3 and 4. Murid coming on from the far end bowled really economically, and what was so impressive is that these two bowled in such a good partnership. Anshi, the wicket taker, always getting the ball to move in, attacking the stumps, attacking the pads, while Murid at the other end was bowling across the right-hander, really drying up the runs, and that was absolutely great to see. And Anshi posing such a threat with those in-swingers. Anything that hits on the pad we're going to go up for, and taking 2 in an over was absolutely massive, and this was the over that really changed the game. Murid taking his first wicket for the club as well from the far end was absolutely awesome. And as I mentioned, these 2 overs back to back really changed the game, taking 3 wickets in just 7 balls. And it really just broke this George's innings completely, going from around 45 for 2 to 55 for 6. Thomas played some lovely shots and was surprised seeing bat as low as 8, as he hit some really strong shots down the ground. And Umar, a George's veteran, a great left arm seamer, and also handy with the bat, was also showing some resistance, and we know how threatening he can be, so it was important that we still broke this partnership. And who else to call upon than Ansh with an absolute seed of a delivery, taking the middle peg, in swinging between bat pad. Anshi looking for the fifer, not waiting a single delivery to take GKTCC's first ever 5-wicket haul from a seam bowler. Well, since records began, considering they only really started around 4 years ago. Anchi going for that hat trick on the back of Zane's the previous week, but he couldn't reproduce it. And a lovely little shot there from the number 10, Varunan, cover driving Anchi through extra cover for 4. Padzi on from the far end, becoming a GKTCC veteran himself. He's done so much for the club as Padzi. Currently the secretary, I'm sure looking forward to being president or vice president in the years to come. And he's been a big member of the first 11, especially when he joined the club. And he's done so much for the club. So it's great to see him bowling well for the first 11 today. Tane on from the far end, bowling his non-spinning offies. And Aman with his ridiculously quick hands, removing the dangerous Umar for just 5, leaving us with just 1 wicket to take to bowl Georges out and hopefully get home early like we did last week against Imperial. Paddy getting unlucky there with a little edge, and Sham using the long handle as he always does, getting a couple over mid-wicket for 4. Before Tane cleaned up the innings to bowl Georges out for just 92, and that was a really impressive performance from the GKT boys. We had started pretty poorly and we discussed that with Georges getting to 45 for 2, and we didn't hit our usual standards, especially the openers, but the first change bowling pair of Mareed and Anch was absolutely astounding, and we really deserved to keep them down to 92. Those two bowlers should be exceptionally proud about how they performed. So Cabby and Sid, our UH opening partnership for the whole season, opened up and they looked as assured as ever, punishing anything loose. And it was great to see Sid on the back of a 20 not out against Imperial and a 30 against BARTS, showing real confidence opening the batting for GKTCC ones. He's always had one of the best defences in the club, Sid, but it's great to see him showing his attacking game, as you saw against KCL when he batted in the middle order, and they're opening up for the 50 over side. And Cabsy looking as elegant as ever. He scored runs in every single game that we videoed so far, so hopefully we can keep that run going. City with a beautiful square cut, taking the score to 20 for no loss. So having qualified for the United Hospitals Cup final, it was always going to be interesting to see who we would play in the final. RUMS are usually our strongest competitors, and so we expected to see RUMS in the final. However, there was always going to be strong competition from the other sides, and we recorded the final, which occurred later on in the year, so I'm sure you guys are excited to see that in a couple of weeks. Sid looking so strong on that back foot is really a strength of his, pulling and cutting really well and punishing anything, whereas Cabby loves to use his wrists, look elegant and look flair, and just look $1 million when he's batting. Making Umar arguably one of the best bowlers in the UH competition. Trust me, he's so skillful with the ball, and his wrists look pretty ordinary. Before Umar got the last laugh with an exceptional Yorker, trapping below Cabby's bat and dismissing him for a well-earned 26. Aman Patel coming in at 3 today. Absolutely so much talent, Aman, and he's sure to make a few big scores this season. Coming in at 3 to give him some time in the middle to join Sid to hopefully see us through to the target. After Cabby's wicket, the runs kind of dried up, and it was really good bowling from Georges, especially the first change bowlers, Rian and the spinner Ibby from the far end. But City looking good with his wrists, was still looking strong, and some lovely soft hands from Aman there, getting him going. City getting lucky with one edge, but not second time around, with an absolutely superb catch from I think Chanel at first slip, with an absolutely great catch, and Umar claiming his second scalp, bringing Tane to the crease. Tane, an exceptionally talented sportsman who doesn't train all too much, an exceptionally busy guy with a lot going on in his life, incredibly successful, but he's always able to produce results when he comes out onto the pitch, and he's a big game player, which we've seen from our time at GKT. These two, both aggressive, both positive batsmen, always looking to put pressure on the bowler. and Tanahu is an exceptionally good hockey player, is always looking to use his wrists to work the ball into the onside. It was really good to actually see us go out there and approach this target in a really aggressive manner. Chasing low scores like 90, 100, 120, 150 can be quite difficult if you just go and protect your wicket and not go out there and be positive. But to see us just consistently nip away at the target basically gave Georges no chance unless they continued to take wickets. The fact we were so positive put them on the back foot immediately, and it was great to see the openers and the numbers 3 and 4 continue to do that. Put away bad balls, but also put away good balls and punish those good balls. Just 6 to win now. Ibby bowling his grenades. Never easy to get away, it must be said. You always think that you can come down the wicket to it, and then the ball never seems to arrive. But as we see here, Tana hitting the winning runs, and it was a really good victory for GKTCC, taking us towards the United Hospitals Cup final, which you'll see later on in the year. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we'll catch you all next time.